Everybody, and welcome back. Thank you very much for joining me. This is a very recent report. Bigfoot fears as giant strange clawed footprints are discovered in a park in Dublin. Now, the Daily Star reported on the 8th of the 2nd, 2020, that photos have emerged of giant footsteps believed to belong to Bigfoot or to a Bigfoot monster. The footprints were discovered on January 20th in Phoenix Park, Dublin, Ireland, by a concerned citizen of the area and reported in the Star, as I said, on the 8th of this month. This is the footprint that they're talking about here. Now, the lady who found them wished not to be named, and she said she'd never seen anything like the prints before. She went on to add, "On our return to the car, we noticed a very large and strange animal footprint." And this image here shows a line of footprints. We will come back to that in a moment. At first, we thought it was a joke, but as we continued to walk further on, there was a line of footprints that ran for about a quarter of a mile in one direction. And this made me think that this wasn't a joke. My friend got down and measured his hand to the prints, and his hand was quite a lot larger. Now, we always go on walks here, and we've never seen these type of animal footprints before. The Irish Bigfoot Research Organisation added, "We are not aware of any activity inside Dublin, but there has been activity in the surrounding areas, especially in the Wicklow Mountains, as most reports come from further north. And the incident comes as more suspected Bigfoot prints were discovered in Palmerstown, Dublin last month. Given the lack of sightings and evidence, the Bigfoot organisation said they doubt the two incidents are related. Speaking on the incident, a Phoenix Park guide was sceptical of the pictures and said, 'I think someone is exaggerating.' All I can say is, when people come to Phoenix Park, they should not take anything from the park, and they should not leave anything but footprints." This photograph was found by the Irish Bigfoot Association. Now, this is the photograph that they're talking about, the lady, and this is the line of footprints. And I'll go back to the blow-up so you can see them. What I noticed, the first thing that I noticed is that whatever's made this print is dug into the ground. So it's not a compressed print. So if you pressed your hand down into the ground, it would all be one handprint, or your foot would be one footprint. This has divots in it and dig outs, which suggests to me something sharp was used to make it. And now, normally, I'm all for a good print, but I have to say, this photograph was what clued it in for me. When you look at the area, this has clearly been mowed. There's less frost, there's no ground cover, and I think what we're seeing is the tool of the mower as it's been driven along to the wood and out in whatever direction it went. And I would imagine that's the way that the footprints went. So let's go back and have a look. Rather than it being an actual foot impression, I would say that this could be a problem with the mowers. You see how they're completely perpendicular? And the prints are very similar as they go over and over. And I think that's probably what it is. But that doesn't mean there aren't Bigfoot reports in Ireland, because there are. So I checked my records when this story came in. It only came in about an hour ago. There are two other reports not too far away. One of the reports is the Blessington Lake video, and it's out there on YouTube, you can find it. And that claims to show a strange bipedal figure in a country park that was taken a number of years ago now, not far from Dublin. Now, the other accounts are historical accounts, and in that area they call it the Irish Gelt. Now, the word is derived from the Gaelic Galacht, and it's a careful examination of text on the centuries-old books that speak of the Gelts. This is kind of what you can pull from it. There is also one thing which will seem very wonderful about men who are called the Gelt. It happens that when two hosts meet for battle, when the battle cry is raised loudly on both sides, the Gelts run wild and lose their wits, and they run into the wood away from other men, and they live there like wild beasts, and they shun the meeting of men like wild beasts. And it is said of these men that when they have lived in the woods in that condition for 20 years, then feathers will grow on their body, as they do on birds, whereby their bodies are protected against frost and cold. but the feathers are not so large that they can fly like a bird. Yet their swiftness is said to be so great that other men cannot approach them, and greyhounds just as little as men. For these people run along the trees almost as swiftly as monkeys or squirrels. Thereafter, we are told, the Gelt lived a definitive outcast life, roaming the land of Ireland in search of three things, and three things only: water to drink, watercress to dine upon, and ivy bushes on which to sleep. Now, if you follow the coast road north, you will come to a cluster of sighting reports, and they kind of lie between Drogheda and Lisburn, and then keep going further north up to around Lough Neagh. And you can access these reports on the Bigfoot sighting map, and there is a link of it below. But as you can see here, this is where the footprints have been found, and these are the accounts that are not too far away from it. And if you follow them north, this is Lough Neagh here, and then they kind of run up and go north, and there are hardly any on this side of Ireland. Now, Ireland has very few estuaries. There is an estuary here, and there is an estuary here, and I find that very interesting, because in the UK, where we have estuaries, you find lots of sighting reports. It may be the same for Ireland, I'm not sure. So what do you think? Is it a footprint, or is it a tool mark? I guess we'll never know. So until next time, thank you very much. Good night.